He's told me that you're blocked. He's told me he hasn't talked to you. She talked to you for like one night. So is there feelings involved or what? Okay. What are the intentions behind it then? You just want to be butt buddies or like complain about your lives to each other or what? Okay. I mean, at this point, you guys are going to keep, I'm not going to tell you stop talking because you're just going to keep talking. But.
No, I don't have any interest in talking to you. It's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
How to figure out if your baby daddy, an ex of 10 years, is now dating your sister.
Crazy.
I'm so lucky. This is the last time I am making this video. I think I have tried to make this video about 20 times today and I just can't get it right. I'm going to be awkward. I don't know what I'm doing on here. I have a lot of information. I'm trying to be as fast as I can. I have severe ADHD. We're gonna try to keep it on track, but no promises. Let's get it started. To understand the severity of how horrible this is, even on a deeper level of just hearing sister with my ex, I'd like to add a little bit of context. Sister's 18 months younger than me, very close growing up, super duper close. My best friend till we were in high school, I would say. Boyfriend. With him for, again, on and off 10 years. We have children together. We have a house together. I'm also going to say a lot in this, and I'm so sorry. I don't like it either.
Neither do we.
Video is probably the worst thing for me to do because I cannot stay on track. Anyway, we're going to try. Again. Screw it, though, because I am not doing this again. Okay. So, sister, super close. Baby daddy, 10 years. Both my best friends for a long period of time. A large part of my life, they were my bestest friends. In 2020, my sister got married and moved away. And my baby daddy went away for college to play hockey states away. So 2020 kind of rocked my shit, as I'm sure it did everybody else. COVID, duh. But it really rocked my shit. It was the first time I was living alone by myself. I cannot with the Quit saying quit saying
Yo, these story times.
Okay. Sister away, husband. Boyfriend away, college. Me, sad. Not used to being that alone. I got depressed, for sure. I was going out a lot. I was drinking a lot. I was doing whatever I could to numb the pain of my two best friends not being there for me anymore. Whatever though, my baby daddy comes back. We shouldn't have been together. It was a horrible relationship to start out with. The whole 10 years, I mean, of course there were good moments, but it was mainly bad. We're very toxic for each other. But he was my high school sweetheart, and I thought that was like the end all be all, as every other girl does, unfortunately, usually. And it was bad. It was bad. Whatever though, he came home, quit hockey. I got pregnant, and my sister also had just had babies. So, married, sister had twins, baby daddy comes back for me, I have twins. Which makes the story just even worse. So yeah, me and the Wicked Witch both have twins. Hers are a year older than mine. Moving right along. We both bought houses with our significant others. She and her husband moved to Colorado with their kids. Me and my baby daddy ex long-term boyfriend, technically husband if you want to like, as far as like feelings and like life goes. We just didn't get married. We bought a house, have twins, 2 boys. There is a lot more lore and info on my story, on my family's backstory that would just really amp this shit up even worse, but I do not have time to go through all of that. My family lore is actually insane. We should have our own reality TV show.
And why bring it
I have
up?
my notes.
Please put that up.
Try to help me stay on
Jesus Christ.
So I got pregnant, had my kids. I had a bit of postpartum depression, and I actually admitted myself to the psych ward. It's the best thing I ever did. Hands down, I needed to make that decision for my kids, and I am just like a totally different person now because of that. That's a whole other story. I can get into that maybe another day because I'm not ashamed of it. I like to talk about it, but that's not really relevant to the story. I just wanted to put that in there because I'm pretty sure these two want to blackmail me by holding my mental illness and my nut hut vacation into me like a bad thing. It's just like blackmailing me with posting stuff about that, and honestly, do it, guys, because guess what? I don't care. And if you're going to use that to justify the fact that you two are sleeping together, that's just gross and weird. Anywho, got through that. Let's see here.
Sisters.
In February of this year, we learned that my sister and her husband were having really bad marital issues, and so they were gonna get divorced. Like, that's basically what it came down to. She does not work, so she decided to come stay up here with us for a while. And
Bad decision.
that's really where this starts, like, this story starts. So February, learned she was leaving her husband. They both did each other dirty. I'm not going to go into it, though. It's not my place, since I'm being so respectful of these people, even though I don't respect a single one of them. Me and baby daddy are still together at this point. We're in a house. We have our kids. And it was just a lot. It was crazy. My sister and her husband did not seem like the type that would ever get divorced. But I mean, it happens, and it is what it is. I'm not going to get into it. So it was, let's see, I have a date on here. So in March, my baby daddy was going out a lot, which he always did and does. But I just kind of got a little bit of a feeling that something was a little weird. I don't know. We know girls have instincts, and my instincts are actually killer. So I took it upon myself to go into his Snapchat. He let me have all his passwords, so I didn't do this maliciously, even though whatever, I should be able to look at it anyway. I'm your girlfriend of in 10 years and your kid's mother, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Looked through there, I saw that my sister's name was on there, yet everything was deleted. So the chat had been deleted of whatever they were saying. And it was like the night before, like the weekend before, at like 3 a.m. And so I kind of lost my shit a little bit, knowing what I knew about her and her husband and what they were going through. I was like, oh, no. So I kind of went back and forth debating if I should even ask her about it, just because I didn't want to come off as crazy. And like, obviously there wasn't really that thought of they're talking like that. This is my sister and my baby daddy, her nephew's dad. So that really didn't cross my mind. I just was weirded out, and I really didn't know if I wanted to like rail her about it, or if I was just gonna be like, well, take the L. Maybe they're just like sending each other funny memes. I don't know. It's looking back now, I feel really fucking stupid. I'm running out of time, so I am going to make a part 2 and cover
This was the
whatever else
longest
I need
10
to in
minutes.
that. So I will see you in the next video, part 2. So she was Snapchatting him. And like I said, when I looked on his Snap, it was just like a blue chat. But when I clicked on it, all of the chats, like the words that were said, have been deleted. Which is just a little suspicious
No, it's not.
to me.
It is.
And it was also very suspicious that she didn't tell me right away. Like, if my sister's husband was texting me or calling me anytime, I would let her know.
All Snapchat messages
better yet,
disappeared
3
unless you
o'clock in the
save
morning
them.
when he's drunk. So that was a red flag for me, obviously. So I texted her and I just asked what was said and why she didn't tell me. And her whole message was like, I just didn't want to cause any drama. He didn't say anything. He just called me and was telling me that I need to leave my husband and blah, blah, blah. It is so annoying to look back on these moments too and just be like, why wasn't this working? Why was this not clicking? Why did I not see this stuff? Anyway, texted her, asked her, whole story. Like I said, it was never anything. He just wanted me to leave my husband and whatever. I didn't really get too upset about it. I'm just not really a jealous person anyway. It just kind of hurt my feelings that she wouldn't tell me right away because I feel like that's just something that I would do, but clearly she does not have the morals that I do.
She don't.
So that blows over. She said she'd block him on Snapchat just to make sure that it doesn't pop up again. Again, what the fuck was I thinking? I'm so bad at this.
Yeah, we know.
I did ask my baby daddy about it as well. And I knew he was a liar, so I really didn't care what he had to say. But the stories added up, I guess, for the most part, and I just kind of got over it because, again, who thinks that there's something more than that going on between your sister and your serious boyfriend that you have kids with? So that was red flag number 1. Then we get word that she is going to come stay here because she doesn't have a job. So she didn't have to like stay wherever her husband was so that they could like watch the kids together. She could just kind of leave and do her own thing. And we were all supportive of that. I think selfishly we really wanted to see her kids. So we totally were like, yeah, that's a good idea. You guys need space from each other right now anyway. So I'd also just like to add that I have screenshots and proof of everything that I'm saying to be true. I just don't want to have to post those things because I think that would embarrass the people we're talking about. And that's just the last thing I'd want to do to them.
You really going through it.
But I'm not going to have them trying to defend themselves or say that I'm lying because if you do, I will post the proof. Anyway, moving along. We get word she's going to come stay with us. I have the biggest house out of my family, and my mom, me, my other siblings live in apartments. And my house is already childproof pretty much because I have 2 toddlers running around all the time. So, of course, I said, yeah, come stay with me. Perfect. I missed my sister. I missed her kids. When I got pregnant with twins, I was just, like, so excited to watch our kids grow up together. It was just, like, the most important thing to me. Every dream I had was our 4 kids playing together and us just sitting there watching them. Because, like, how perfect. So she and her 2 kids were here. They got here, I believe, let me look at my notes, mid-April, and they stayed in town till mid-May. So they were here for a good month. They didn't stay with me every single night, but most nights they stayed here. She stayed at my mom's a couple nights, but again, there's no room really for them there, so they were here a lot. Plus, while I was working, I'm a dog groomer, so while I was working, they needed a babysitter because baby daddy worked in the garage, which is another little tidbit I hope you don't forget. We'll go back to that.
You take long enough, I'm gonna
So
forget.
we needed somebody to watch the kids during the day. And if she was going to be here with her too, why not watch all four? That sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but it was 4 like toddlers around the same age and like whatever. So it was pretty simple. I mean, they were crazy, but again, my house is child-proof, so they could run rampant in this place and it would be fine. So my sister, you know, came and watched all 4 kids pretty much every day while I was at work. For me, how nice of her. And got some good quality time with the father of my kids who worked from the garage. Or at least that's what this gets into. Now, I don't know the truth about any of this, and I probably will never know the truth because these people are liars to the core. But I didn't have any physical evidence of them being together besides the fact that she would go buy him like food for lunch a lot and bring it to him, which I just thought was weird because, again, these two hated each other for a long time. Like, me and him, whenever we had like a little spat with her, because she has a dog too, and we used to watch their dog all the time for her because they just never could take care of her. She talked a lot of shit. I talked a lot of shit as well, but I'm her sister, and I'm also not fucking her. No. So it seemed kind of odd to me that she was doing these favors for him. But again, why would I think that it was the way that it is now? Why? Who thinks that? Nobody, because it's wrong and disgusting. So that was weird. Another weird thing that happened was she would stay here in our guest room and the door would stay open. Sometimes she always closed the door when he wasn't living here because, okay, we got to backtrack a little bit. This is what I mean, y'all. So when she first got here, we went out a couple times together and I thought it was just sisterly, having fun, being crazy, whatever. Baby daddy and I were really on the brink at this point. So to me, we really weren't together anymore. And so when me and my sister would go out and like have drinks and stuff, we both would flirt with guys a little bit. She was newly single and I was on the brink. And she encouraged it. She encouraged a lot of the, let's go out, let's go do this. Oh my gosh, go up to him, get his Snapchat, blah, 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 blah. And I, you know, don't tell me twice, girl. Don't tell me twice. So one of these nights, actually, we were getting a ride home from an Uber, and I was drunk, but this is what I can remember and what my other sister told me went on. I looked over at her phone. I glanced at her phone for a second, and it had my baby daddy's name on it with a text. And I guess I was like, why are you texting him? Can I see your messages? And even in my drunken stupor, I think my brain was like, why again are you hiding talking to him? That's so fucking weird. So weird. So I got a little pissed off. And I think I said, like, if you don't show me your phone, I'm going to beat your ass or something. Which is wrong. That's not right. But I was drunk. And obviously I'm not going to do that. And I'm pretty sure I was being sarcastic. Okay, part 3. I'm getting so tired. It is 2 a.m. and I'm already sleep deprived from all of this other stuff that's been going on. My brain is jumbled up.
I'm going to tell you how many people
But we
fell
gotta get
asleep
through
on
this,
this.
'cause
A lot already.
I gotta relay this information. So, yeah, we get in a little tiff over her texting him in the car. Of course, I was drunk, so I didn't even remember it the next day. And yeah, so me, baby daddy, we pretty much broke up right then and there. And I was fine with that because, you know, my sister's here. We'll find a cute little apartment to shove me, you, and all of our kids into. And I have been wanting to be done with this person for a long time. So it was kind of one of those things where you go back to them until you hate them. I was there with him. I was this close to hating him. So that really didn't bother me. I was like, okay, fine,
I'm this
stay
close
at your parents' house because his parents live like a block
to
away
hating
from our
her
house.
and him.
And we'll talk about it once she leaves because I was really focused on spending time with my sister, which is so embarrassing again to look at because what was I thinking? But I just was super excited to like finally build a relationship again with her after we kind of went our separate ways, creating our own families. So I was like, we'll talk about this once she leaves, and he agreed. He was like, we'll just be nice and cordial to each other, and then we'll decide what we want to do once she's gone. So yeah, we weren't together. He was staying at his parents probably the second like half of the month that she was here, or maybe the whole time. I can't remember exactly. But there were a couple nights in there where his parents got pissed at him for something, and so he had to come sleep here on the couch. Again, brain wasn't braining. And the couple nights that he stayed here were, ironically, the couple nights that my sister, from in her guest room, which is closer to the living room than my room, the master bedroom's all the way at the end of the hallway. The guest room / playroom where her and her kids were staying is like the first door in the hallway to the living room. And again, you guys, who thinks about this shit? Nobody. So it still really didn't cross my mind, but again, I just kind of had a weird feeling because I would hear the sound machine in her room be so loud, and I would text her and be like, are you okay? Like, are you in your room? Because again, she would close her door whenever he was not there. But when he was there, her door was open. So fucking gross. So I would text her and I would be like, I can hear your sound machine. Like, are you going to the bathroom? Because the bathroom's right across the hallway from the guest room. Or like, do you need help? Do you want to come in here and talk to me? What's going on? She's like, oh no, I'm fine. I'm just sitting in the bathroom, whatever. And I would fall back asleep because this would be like 3 a.m. We're talking like early in the morning, and I had a job to get to the next day. So I would fall asleep. I would shut my door and I would fall asleep. So other coinky dinks that we noticed when we were going through all of our notes on the situation, me and my siblings, was that baby daddy suddenly started getting ready for the day. He details cars, so he's always full of crap and he stinks from that. No shade, but he would never come home and like shower and put on fresh clothes. That's just, he never did that. Just wasn't in his DNA. And he was doing that now. Like, he would come home and he would hop in the shower right away and he'd pick out the nicest outfit you could think of just to be lounging around the house in. And I'm like, it was like a fucking woman, you guys. It was like a woman trying to impress a man. So this is where things are probably going to get emotional for me. Both anger, hatred, and sadness. So bear with me.
We've been bearing with you for
and it just was
20
like a
minutes
sinking
now.
feeling when he would do that because I knew he wasn't doing it for me. So he was either Snapchatting some girl that he was trying to look good for, or there was somebody that he's being around that he's trying to look good for. And I couldn't think of anybody that he'd be around that he would do that for, besides my sister. So that was a coincidence. Then another coincidence was, this is something that my brother actually brought up. He was like, they stare at each other. And this was before before it was even on my radar. He's like, there's just something so weird about the way baby daddy looks at sister. And I was like, yeah, it is weird. It's weird that he's always like staring at her. He was always like right behind her, or just something weird like that. And again, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe that this is what's going on. And again, the thought doesn't cross my head really, because I would never do something like that. So the capability just went right over my head. It didn't even faze me at all until I found a message on baby daddy's phone. I really don't want to cry, so hold on. So let me remind you.
We definitely gonna have to do this in 2 parts. These two have been
home alone together. The 4 kids were here. Home alone together every single day while I was working my 9 to 5 alone. There was nobody else here. We maybe had a visitor once in a while, but they were here alone a lot, which is just so fucking gross. So again, I didn't have any physical evidence of them being together like that, so I just didn't really think of it. Then the day comes that I see the message on baby daddy's phone. So I got home from work. It was a Friday, and he had been mentioning for the past couple days that he wanted to take me, sister, and all of the kids and my other half siblings to the lake, because his family has a really big lake cabin, and we just thought it would be super fun for the kids. We were broken up at this point, so it was, again, a little weird that he asked to do that for me, but I was excited because I wanted all of our kids to be together, and, you know, subconsciously I wanted him back. Like, I wanted my family back together. I missed him briefly, but I missed him being a dad around me. And again, this girl was living here basically for free, which I was more than okay with at the time. Like, I would never ask for anything. But I literally fed her all of her meals. I fed her kids all their meals. I was open. This was her house too, in my eyes. And I know she felt that. And the whole time, we never really had any issues except for that text message that she was sending to him the night we went out. So I didn't care. But now I'm like, fuck you for taking advantage of me that whole time. We need to get back on track. Sorry. So I'm excited to get home and shower and make dinner for everyone so that we can go to the lake. I'm pretty giddy about it. So I rush home, I get in the shower, I'm having a really good day. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be perfect. I can't wait to watch all the kids play together in the lake, and I can't wait for, to see my baby daddy be a dad again, because I missed that. My motherly loins missed that. That sounds so gross, but I've got to be transparent, okay? So I hop in and out of that shower fast as fuck and come into the kitchen to help assist with making dinner for the kids. I have just my robe on because it's just my sister, my baby daddy, and all 4 of our kids, and they've all seen me naked at this point, so I really didn't give a shit. I don't even know why that it actually does add to the story, because it just makes this so embarrassing for me, which is, I don't even want to talk about it, but it's part of the story. So I have to tell you guys. So I come into the kitchen. Baby daddy put his phone on the counter in the kitchen to charge. And I just wanted to see. I just wanted a little peeksies, you know, just to see who he'd been talking to or what he's been doing. Again, we're not together at this point, so this was me being a little nosy, if you will. But his phone was locked, so all I could see was just like the notifications that he had on there. And one of those notifications was a text from said sister, who was standing right the fuck across from me in the kitchen as this was going on. So my heart sank, as I'm sure you can imagine. Everything is being replayed in my mind. All of these things that I just mentioned, the door being open, the way people are saying that he's looking at her, the text message or Snapchat message, all of the things that I'm like, I had a little bit of a feeling about, but obviously did not want to entertain because how the fuck, like, why the fuck would that happen? But I remember I just like literally saw red. I looked straight at her because she's sitting across from me, and I said, what are you texting? I can't say his name. What are you texting baby daddy about? And she's like, what are you talking about? And this is where the manipulation starts, and it was horrible. She goes, what the fuck are you talking about? And I said, your name is right here on his phone. It says 5 minutes ago. What the fuck are you texting each other about that you can't say in person when you're right across from each other? Like, what the fuck's going on? So baby daddy, who I've never seen run this fucking fast in his life, runs into the kitchen, grabs his phone out of my hands, and they both start deleting all of their shit. Now I'm fucking fuming. I don't even really remember what I said because I seriously blacked out. I started screaming. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Why can't neither of you tell me what's going on? I knew there was something happening between you two. What? Show me your messages. Why are you deleting them? Why can't you just show me? Like, what the fuck's going on? We're not even talking about you. We're talking about what we're going to make for dinner. Neither of you make dinner. I make dinner. So this is where the real part comes in, because I can only fucking imagine how stupid I looked chasing these two motherfuckers around my house for a good 5 minutes, trying to get an answer out of either of them. So I'm hyperventilating, I'm shaking, I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm like, please, you two, please tell me what's going on. I'm not gonna be mad. I just want to know, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Why am I feeling all these feelings? What's going on? Whatever. And she's grabbing all of her shit. Like, she's going from my living room to the guest room where all of her shit is. I mean, her first instinct was to go grab all of her shit and fucking leave. Which is, again, proof that something bad was going on. Because if nothing bad was going on, you both would have been able to just tell me what you were talking about right then and there, and your first instinct wouldn't have been to grab all your shit and leave because you think you're gonna get kicked out. Like it's so stupid. And instead of being adults and just answering my fucking question, they were calling me crazy. They were the whole time, you're being insane. This is not even what it is. You're being so crazy. Why would you think that? We were just talking about dinner, like different shit coming in from their mouths. I was so fucking mad. So baby daddy, being the kind, generous helper that I know and love, is also gathering all of her shit around the house to pack up for her.
Take care of his woman.
It didn't get anywhere. They literally took their stuff, told me I was fucking crazy, hopped in the car together, and drove off into the fucking sunset, babe. At this point, I feel like my stomach and my heart is going to explode. I am losing my fucking shit. So I'm calling whoever I can, because I seriously, I've never been that mad and that horrified in my life ever. Even all of the things now that you'll hear about in a minute, That moment, I will never fucking forget that. So my other siblings come over, they calm me down a little bit, and there wasn't really much of a discussion. I mean, it was clear as day there was something going on. They deleted all of their stuff, so I would never know what was actually said. Clearly, these two people are serial liars, so why even waste my time? And yeah, I think for that night, like, I stopped talking to my sister. I didn't talk to my baby daddy. I didn't talk to anybody but, like, my close family and friends that I could talk to about this situation, because I was so shaken up and so angry. Again, nothing, I never got any physical proof of anything, because at that point, it wasn't worth it for me to reach out to either of them and ask for the truth, because we all know they weren't going to give that shit to me. So she goes and stays at my mom's house. He goes to his parents' house, like where he was staying, so that wasn't crazy of him to do. But no apology from either of them. This was a Friday, so I expected Saturday morning to wake up to a phone call or even just a fucking text message of, I'm so sorry that we were being so mean to you. We were just talking about whatever and we didn't want you to see that. Not a fucking thing from either of them. And again, I'll remind you, she has been staying in my house, using all of my shit for the past month.
That's
and
all
you're
it
gonna
took
go out
for
like
her?
that without even an apology?
It took a month for her to take your man.
So to be so fucking for real, I really don't remember much more of that night. I know I didn't get any information from either party. I just kind of had to dwell. And it was really fucking horrible for me. So days passed. I'm pretty sure my family tried talking to her and like asking her what really went on, but I don't think she gave she didn't give anybody like a good solid answer. So we know she was lying, and we know that whatever they were talking about, they're ashamed to say out loud. I believe it was Saturday night. I just kind of got like an inkling that there was something going on, and I still had my ex's Uber account on my phone. So whatever feeling I was having led me to go check the Uber account. And mind you, I thought that he was out of town at the lake with his parents because we were all supposed to go there, but of course I didn't go. So I don't really know what this feeling was, except now I can look back and be like, wow, my instincts are fucking fire. But I go on there and I see that just 5 minutes ago, he got a ride from an Uber from somewhere in town. I think he was either at a concert or at a bar, to my mother's house. So this is where my sister went after I kicked them both out of my house and they grabbed all their shit and ran out together into the sunset. This is where she went. This is where she was going to be staying the rest of her days here. And again, my jaw dropped, my heart sank into my stomach, and I just was like freaking out. At this point, I was like, this cannot be real life. Like, this is not actually happening. I was panicking. So I called my brother, who lives way closer to my mom than I do. I live on pretty much the opposite side of town, and I just knew I needed to catch them as fast as I could. So me being dumb, I panicked and I called baby daddy. And he answered and I said, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm at a friend's. And I was like, oh, what friend? And he goes, says friend's name, I'm not going to say a name. And I said, oh, really? Will you FaceTime me and prove that to me? Silence from him. Silence. So now he knows that I know something is up. My brother's on his way to my mom's house. I called my sister, the good sister, not this sister, my other sister, my half sister. And I said, you need to get to my house ASAP because my kids are asleep in bed and I cannot leave them home. And I need to go there to see what's going on between these two people as fast as I fucking can. So I'm in limbo because I can't leave my house until my sister gets here. And I know my brother is on his way to hopefully catch them in the act. So I had some sort of proof to justify what was going on because I seriously felt fucking nuts. Again, there was no physical proof of anything up to this point except for the name on his phone that I saw and the way that they were acting. Obviously, we know that that's weird, but I had no evidence of any sort. I just had this feeling and I had dots that were connecting. So my sister gets here. I got a call from my brother and all I can hear is like the horn honking and he's freaking out saying something. I don't know. I think he was attached to his car like speaker system and all I could just hear was the horn honking over and over and over again and someone screaming, "What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?" So I hop in my car. I'm still on the phone with my brother at this time. They're jumbling around. I don't really know what's going on. I'm just like, keep him there. Don't let him leave. And my brother goes, "Yep, he's here. It's him. He's here. He's literally trying to run away right now. He's hiding behind trees by my mom's house, trying to get as far the fuck away from that house as possible." And my brother, being the sleuth he is, caught that on video. So I do have proof of that as well. So baby daddy's running down the street, drunk as fuck, trying to evade me and my brother. We have him cornered on a very busy street, and I said, "Get in my fucking car right now. We are going to hash this out right now." He gets in my car, can hardly say a word straight, and we head back to my mother's house where my sister was. Again, if I'm going to be so honest, this whole thing was so emotional and so chaotic for me that I really can't remember little teeny tiny details. But the gist of it is that we got to my mom's house. I told him to get inside. Me, my brother, my sister, and him sat in my mom's living room and tried to talk about it, but he was so drunk and she was not giving up. My mother's not here, by the way. She was staying at her boyfriend's, so it was just my sister and her kids staying here right now. Again, his Uber app had said that he was only there for like 5 to 10 minutes, so I don't know exactly what happened. My brother swears when he pulled up there was no funny business going on, so I don't know. So my brother and I are kind of drilling both of them, trying to get something out of either one, and baby daddy was too drunk to seriously even come up with a sentence, and sister was saying, he just showed up here. I didn't ask him to come here. He knocked on the door, and then I said, get away from me. There is no way this man knew my mother's address and was coherent enough to type it into the Uber app 10 minutes ago. So again, straight up lies, just straight up lies out the ass. We didn't get anywhere. His mother picked him up from that house. I tried to talk to her, but me and his mom, we don't get along anyway. That's a whole story for a whole nother day that I will not get into, because that would take a million years. But let's just say that she needs
as if this one ain't even a
to
million
know her.
and one.
And that's created a lot of issues in our relationship over the past 10 years. I follow him out to his mom's car. Again, I try to say something to her. She just shakes her head and just doesn't say anything. And they drove off. I tried to go back inside and see if I could get anything more out of my sister, but it just went into circles. And she was being amazing at manipulation and gaslighting, telling me I was the worst sister ever. Why do you even care if he's here? You guys aren't together anymore. No, I didn't invite him over, but that's not the problem. You've been a horrible sister to me my whole life, whatever. Really, because the whole last couple weeks you were staying at my house, you never mentioned me being a bad sister. Not once. So before I left my mom's house that night, the last thing I said to my sister was, will you just please block him on everything, because then at least I know you aren't not communicating with each other and there won't be any confusion about you two being together. So she agreed to that, and that was kind of that. I went home, she stayed there. She was there for I think a couple more days. We didn't say a fucking word to each other, and that was that. As far as my baby daddy goes, I tried asking him the next day about it, and he just kind of tried to laugh it off and said, oh, it was just a joke because I know it would make you mad. Whatever. At this point, there was nothing left for me to do except try to figure out where I was going to live and move with my kids since we're living in this house together with him. So the rest of May was pretty uneventful. I didn't really talk to my sister at all, and the only time I talked to my baby daddy was when we had to talk about our co-parenting our kids. In my mind, though, again, I just figured that was all going to go away and they weren't talking to each other anymore. So I really didn't dwell on it like there was anything I was going to do about it anyway. I had already cut my sister off at this point, so trying to get anything else from her just was not even worth it for me. And I unfortunately don't have the luxury to cut off my kid's dad. Anyway, June rolls around and she has to come back here for some sort of orders for her job. So she was here and she stayed at my mother's house again. She didn't talk to me at all. I had no contact with her this whole time. Again, we had to just go off of hearsay because we didn't have any physical evidence of them being together. So my mom, being a mom, she let my sister stay with her. My mom tried to ask her about the situation a couple times and she wouldn't really elaborate on it. So my mom kind of gave up, and honestly, I don't blame her. It's just, at this point, I'm just like, it is what it is. Let's move on. Then my sister started doing crazy fucking shit at my mom's house. So she would tell my mom that she needs to go like grocery shopping at like 8 p.m. and would not come back to my mom's house till like 3 in the morning. She threw an air tag that she had in her car out the fucking window at Target because she didn't want her ex-husband tracking where she was because he was not with her here. There were a couple other crazy things that she did, but I really can't remember exactly what it was. And at this point, again, like I said, I just didn't even give a fuck anymore. Our relationship was ruined at this point. I don't know for sure if they were hanging out when she was here during this time, but I can tell you there were a lot of coincidences in what they were both doing those nights. So at this point, my family's getting pretty fucking fed up with her. My mom's losing her patience with the fact that she's staying at her house but not being respectful enough to tell my mom what's going on. My siblings are realizing that she's kind of just like lying about literally everything, and she's just kind of going haywire and being crazy and like not telling people what's going on. I haven't said anything to her. She hasn't said anything to me. It kind of just was like water under the bridge, whatever at this point. So anyway, she goes back to where she's living with her husband, and the months go on, and August rolls around. And I'm gonna be honest, I was really fucking sad. I was really sad. I was mourning the loss of my sister, my little family that I thought I had with my baby daddy and my kids. I was trying to find a place to move out. I was mourning this house that we made together, that I picked out everything in. And I'm just a girl. What do you want from me, okay? So I unfortunately caved a couple times and let baby daddy hang out with me. Again, last time I talked to my sister, she had him blocked. After that conversation, she swears she was going to block him and not talk to him again, and he said the same thing. He kept telling me, I'm not talking to her. No, why would I talk to her? I'm not talking to her. You're being so dramatic. You know nothing actually happened between us. It was just a joke, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, being a mother and him being the father of my kids and me just being a dumbass, I let him come hang out a couple times in August. And let's be so for real, we were together on and off for 10 years. You knew I was taking this man back unless I had solid evidence. So the last time he stayed with me, he had asked if I could put like an alarm on my phone for the next morning. And I was like, why don't you just use your phone? Why do you have to use my phone? And then again, the brain started clicking. I said, where's your phone? Oh, I don't know. I think it's in my pants somewhere. I don't know. The bitch left his phone at his parents' house so that his mom couldn't see that he was staying with me. Which I think says a lot about their whole situation, their whole family situation, because how are you tracking him and getting mad at him for being with the mother of his kids and your grandchildren?
Because
She definitely knew about my whole sister situation. We had a whole family talk about it, my parents and them, and they did not seem too worried about the fact that baby daddy was moving on to my sister. So to get mad that he's with me is crazy. Crazy. Anyway, that's the last time I let him stay here. After that, I was like, fuck this shit. What the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm so stupid. I just need to start moving on. Like, whatever. So, end of August, I don't remember exactly how everything went down, but my mother decided to go look on our call list because she still has me and my siblings all as like a family plan on her cell phone plan. And she discovered that baby daddy and sister had been talking every single day for the past 4 months. Ever since she went back to where she came from. For hours every day. Like, phone calls were coming in at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., 1 a.m. For fucking months, you guys, for months. These two were each other's top contact on their phones. I think my mom looked and there was like 60 phone calls between the two of them in a matter of like 2 days. So all while he's telling me that they don't talk at all, like, oh my god, you're being crazy, no, she blocked me, and hanging out with me, he's also calling my sister multiple times a day. So I finally broke my non-contact that I had with my sister, and I told her to call me immediately. She calls me. I let her know what's going on, and I say, you better tell me what the fuck the truth is now, because things are adding up, girl. Things are adding the fuck up. And I am so exhausted at this point. I could cry, but I'm not going to. I have been gaslit the past however many months into thinking that they were blocked on each other's phones, and then coming to see all of this shit. I mean, I was losing my mind. So the whole phone call, she's telling me, no, it's not like that. I'm like, I need details, girl. Like, you need to fucking tell me what's going on. This is the last time I'm ever fucking talking to you. You owe me at least the truth. You at least owe me the fucking truth. And I have that phone call recording if I have to post it. But I really don't want to because she sounds really fucking stupid. Again, I'm begging her, please just tell me what the fuck's going on. I'm already so pissed and over it at this point that nothing you guys can say is going to make me more mad or hate you more. I just deserve to know the fucking truth. Me and my kids deserve to know the fucking truth. And if he's sitting here telling you that he hasn't been hanging out with me, I have proof of that as well. That he was hanging out with me. And I really don't want to post that. And I know he doesn't want me to post that, so... The last part of that phone call that night was just her saying, I have no interest in talking to him. I promise we're not talking to each other like that. Just the same shit I've heard over and over. And again, I have this whole phone call recorded if I need to give evidence of it. And at this point, there was no denying the fact that something was going on between these two. Again, I have no real, proof of them, physically being together at all. But, again, things connect, dots connect. I may be stupid, but I'm not dumb. And at this point, this is where my family is fed the fuck up as well and decides to pretty much cut her off. And for any confusion, I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. This was my one full-blooded sister. I have a half-sister and a stepsister, and then a half-brother and a stepbrother. I get off the phone with her, and I send a nasty message to the both of them, which I do regret now looking back on it. Like, I shouldn't have done that, but also I was so traumatized from literally being gaslit the entire summer while also trying to be a mom and overcome all of the obstacles I had to overcome from last year. I just was so overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed. So at this point, I felt used, abused, not loved by literally anybody in my life. I mean, the two people who should have loved me the most, the father of my kids and my sister / best friend, fucking betrayed the absolute shit out of me. And not just for one day or a couple days, for the whole summer. Anyway, I'm just going to try to stick to the facts so I can finish this up because I know everybody's irritated. So that happened. That was like kind of the last thing for me, for both of them. Sent a horrible message to them, which I regret, but I'll take accountability for that. It wasn't nice. And didn't really talk to her at all or him at all, and my family cut them off. My family was never okay with any of this, by the way. I've been getting that question a lot too. But again, I have to defend them because there was no solid evidence and we were all being gaslit. Like, it wasn't just me, it was my entire family. And I grew up with a single mom and my other two siblings alongside the Wicked Witch. So we grew up to be pretty, like, emotional people, and we've always just kind of talked it out. Like, we're not a family that, like, sweeps things under the rug. So they really tried their hardest to be on my side, but also wake the fuck up my sister from whatever the fuck she was doing. But I think they saw that she was not even answering their phone calls all summer so that they could see her kid, because they did try to keep in contact with her just to, like, know her children, because obviously that's their niece and nephew. But she really wasn't interested in talking to them, yet she could sit on the phone with my baby daddy for 9+ hours a day. So again, that was the end of August that phone call happened. Again, she denied everything once again, and it wasn't like that. They were just friends. They were just talking to each other about life. And again, at the end of the phone call, she goes, "I have no interest in talking to him." And then I say, "You're still going to talk to him, so you're not going to give me the truth. I'm done." So again, I've never gotten I'm sorry, a explanation, like a legitimate explanation, any sort of anything from either of these fucking people. Now we're bringing it to a couple weekends ago. Baby daddy told me that he is going out of town for a golf tournament. It's a little late in the year for a golf tournament, and I live in a cold climate. So I knew right away that he was going to see my sister. And again, at this point, you guys, I didn't give a fuck because, like, I had already tried everything else.
I gotta live in Utah.
Well, whatever. I signed a lease
Utah
on
be
an
having some
apartment.
crazy.
I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not doing this shit anymore. Whatever. Again, though, I had a gut fucking feeling that whatever he was saying he was doing, that's not what he was doing. And I know he was going to go see my sister. And ever since the phone call to her that night and leading up to this weekend, it's a month apart, pretty much exactly, he would go back and forth with me. I mean, we only communicated really when it came to, like, kid drop-offs and stuff like that, but he would make snarky comments here and there about, you know, my sister and trying to ask me who I was hanging out with and all of this stuff. Still being very weird around me, trying to, like, grab my hand and just be the nasty guy I know that he is. And all of this info was relayed to my sister as well on that phone call in August. My phone is gonna die, so I'm gonna finish this here. So I had a weird feeling about him leaving. I didn't really express that to anybody but my family, just because I've obviously been keeping them updated with everything. But I didn't entertain it. I didn't try to see where he was going. I didn't question him too much about it. I just knew in my nuggets that he was doing something with her. And then, so he told me this on, I think, a Monday. Thursday rolls around and I get a phone call from somebody very reliable in this situation and very much, like, a part of this. And he let me know this man was not going where he was telling me he was going. He was going to visit my sister. And at this point, it's like, fuck you guys. You clearly are in love with each other. So just own it and let everybody know. I don't know why we're hiding it at this point. So I had proof that he went to go stay with her for a weekend, and that was my little weekend getaway video. I didn't talk to either of them that weekend. I didn't care to. I knew they were doing weird shit, and I knew they weren't going to tell me the truth. So I just didn't entertain it. Sunday rolls around. My siblings are at my house. My real siblings that I love were at my house. And I ran an errand quick while they were watching my kids. I come back home, and it looks like everybody's about to fucking throw up in my living room. And my brother comes up to me and goes, "You're going to want to sit down to hear this." So I'm panicking. And he goes, "We just talked to my baby daddy, who talked to my sister, or whatever, through the grapevine. They confirmed that after that weekend," this was 2 weekends ago, "they were going to pursue their relationship together." So they had a great little weekend honeymoon, and I guess decided that, fuck, we might as well be, let everybody know. She was letting me know that their life is none of my business. Her and my baby daddy's life that they want so badly to have together was none of my business. And and in that message she goes, "Obviously we have feelings for each other. I thought it was obvious. Obviously, since you guys have been telling me all summer that you guys were blocked on each other's phones, that made it really fucking obvious." And there's so many more little details that I could add to this that
I thought he was going to say they got married.
I just can't even get into, but that was the gist of it. And ever since then, I decided that I'm going to fucking tell people about it, because I've been sitting with this shit in my soul for the past however many months, and I was just fucking manipulated and gaslit all summer long by two people who I loved, and now I am kind of mourning everything all over again because I really didn't want to believe it. I don't think any of us want to believe when things like this happen to us, but knowing that his ass got on a fucking plane and flew however many miles to stay with her in a hotel over the weekend, that was enough for me. And that's the last thing I'm going to say about this. I have my kids to think about. I have her kids to think about. I mean, regardless of everything that happened, the number one thing is to protect our kids. So I'm not going to tag them. I'm not going to mention their names. I do not want any harassment or bullying for either of them, because that only makes my life worse. All I'm asking for is just a little hearing me out, and I appreciate it if you made it this far. And yeah, life is only going to get better from here for me. This is just a bump in the road.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. I ain't gonna say this is lit, but we gonna keep it lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to my homeboy Lucky Wizard Deals. He keeps it lit. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. Now let's get into it, dog. Yeah, she could have told us this in 5 minutes. Like, this could have been a one-part story. I hope to God y'all listen to this at 2 times the speed, because Lord have mercy. She was going through it. She's not good at these story times. Everybody's not perfect at these story times, but you know me. I'm going to bring the drama for your mama. But I am glad that nobody got whooped in this one. No babies were lost and no babies were injured in the making of this story, okay? Lord, there's been some stories, I tell you, man. These women been getting whooped on. At least he ain't get physical with her. Sleeping with her sister, that's just low. That's just low. But the fact that she wanted confirmation after confirmation, it's like, girl, wake up. They was cheating right in front of you. It only took a month for them to fall for each other. Then they, talking on the phone for hours and hours and 60 phone calls in 3 days. And, it's just like the signs were there. You just knew it. You was in denial to the fullest of your capacity. But when you finally got your answer, were you satisfied? Probably not. You probably wasn't satisfied. You won't be satisfied until they would have came out and told you that, like, they were sleeping together. Then you would have been pissed off. But you had time to kind of contemplate it and take it all in. So, that was good for you. They will try to use that you went to the crazy house against you. It'll be awkward that your cousins, your kids will have a cousin / brother on both sides, like on the mama and the dad side. Oh my gosh. They gonna have a cousin brother on the dad's side, and they gonna have a cousin brother on the mom's side. Well, no. They just gonna be cousins on the mom's side. They're gonna be brothers on the dad's side. Yeah. That's correct. That's a wild, wild analogy. Well, no, I take that back. I mean, well, they're going to be cousins on the mom's side. But they're going to be brothers on the dad's side. That's eerily strange. Eerily. And a lot of people got her support. She got her support in the back. And, of course, people will support a person who's been done wrong. She did absolutely nothing wrong but trust her boyfriend, who they've been on and off for 10 years. I don't think the family had anything to do with this, but one day, because this is, out of all her siblings, she said this is her full sibling. They gonna eventually get back together as siblings. I don't think it'll be the smoothest thing. This may take 10, 15 years to get over. But I do believe one day they'll get over it. They won't forget it. And it's always going to be in the back of her mind. So I'm going to pray for this sister, because she didn't deserve this. But it's messed up. It's kind of funny. It's funny. Everyday people. I don't know if this ever happened to y'all, but I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that this has happened to, that a cousin that slept with the boyfriend or dating the boyfriend. At least it ain't the mama and the daughter dating the same man, or she not dating the mama's old man. And yeah, it's just too much. It's just too much. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on in these worlds. Next story time will be coming. Hopefully the next story time is a little bit better than this one. I'm going to tell you what, this is probably one of the worst story times I've ever done. Everyday people, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.